Clap if you're on a spiritual high, everybody. I'm on a high, it's not just from the peanut M&Ms. I mean, this is just true. The learning here has been incredible. It's truly an honor and a pleasure to be here this evening by the formal inauguration of the Partners of Torah event. It's not only that, but it's also a wonderful pleasure to be here by the reopening of the Torch Center, which is phenomenal. And blessing for our community, and I really give a heartfelt blessing on behalf of myself, my family, and the community to Torch, that besides the fact that they should hopefully, God willing, outgrow this facility very shortly, say amen. Amen. In addition to that, the only wetness and moisture that these walls and floors should ever experience is from the spritzing of champagne bottles and the celebration of life cycle events here for many years to come. Amen. I know for many of us, Hanukkah is in the rearview mirror. I know for my kids already, they're already asking for new presents. But for parents, Hanukkah is still very much alive and well. And what I mean by that is that my credit card statement just arrived in the mail, replete with purchases for Hanukkah from Amazon, Walmart, and Target. And when I took my kids to Target a few weeks ago to shop for a couple Hanukkah presents, of course they made a beeline for the toy section. And I left them for a little bit, and after a while, they said, Daddy, we have a few presents that we want to pick out, we want to get for Hanukkah. So I was thinking maybe something like Star Wars, something new, something cutting edge. And they said, Daddy, there's this incredible toy. It's got 4 different colors, 4 different sections, and it lights up every single time you push the button. Unbelievable. It was Simon, obviously something that we all grew up with 30, 40 years ago. And then they said, okay, it's great, we'll get it. And then there was another toy, and they were looking at the board games. They said, Daddy, look at this board game, this is incredible. There's all these little pieces, there's like wars. I said, what's it called? It's called Risk. And I was just at Dave & Buster's with my family the other night. So what are the games that everybody is playing that are in the center of Dave & Buster's on Richmond? It's not the newest games. There's a Connect 4 game. I don't know if anyone's been at Dave & Buster's recently. A Connect 4 game. They had a Galaga. They had Space Invaders. And they also had a very large Pac-Man game, which there was actually a line of people waiting to play. So the more things change, the more things stay the same. If you are coming this evening to receive and to be inspired from a cutting edge, from an innovative program, I think Torch will tell you that you have come to the wrong place. But if you've come to be inspired, if you're coming to latch on to a program, to a movement that has kept the Jewish people alive and thriving through different lands, through different countries, and through different eras, and under foreign occupation and domination, it's only through Torah study, and it's only through Torah study in pairs. I'd like to just conclude with an excerpt from one of the great ethical masters of the 19th century. His name was Rabbi Chaim of Volozhin. And Rabbi Chaim of Volozhin says, what is Torah study compared to? He says, imagine that if you were swept away in a raging river, and suddenly you see in front of you an overhanging tree, you would surely strain with all your might to grab hold of it, and not let go of it even for a second. For releasing your grip means certain death. In the same way, we know Torah is called a tree of life. Does anyone know what the Hebrew translation of that is? A tree of life? It's called an Eitz Chaim. By holding on to it lovingly and learning it continually, you truly live a higher form of life. You are bound and tied, as it were, to Hashem, because Hashem and the Torah are one. I don't know about you, but out there is a tidal wave of indifference, a tidal wave of ignorance and apathy. And there's an Eitz Chaim. There's a tree of life. It's called 9427 Glenfield Court. It's something to hang on to. It's something to lean on. And it's an opportunity to seize, to grab onto that Eitz Chaim. I don't know about you, but being on a roller coaster in the compartment by yourself is a lot scarier than being on it with somebody else. Holding on to that tree with somebody else, understanding that the world out there is very difficult and the daily grind is extremely challenging. But if you're able to latch on to the tree of life, you're able to go through whatever study tickles your fancy, so to speak. whatever you want to learn, whatever you want to grow with. We're growing together. From the novice to the Talmudist and everybody in between. We're all on a journey. We're all growing. And I'll borrow a catchphrase from Rabbi Wolbe. I've quoted this many times. There's only two types of Jews. We think of a lot of different subsections of Jews. And Rabbi Wolbe says, and I believe he still says, this is an oft-quoted saying of his, that there's only two types of Jews. Either you're growing or you're not growing. Either you're running up that downward escalator or you're just remaining stagnant and it's just going to take you down. So I give a blessing to everybody that we all should latch on to the tree of life, to this incredible Partners in Torah program. It's something so simple, but it's yet so profound. It's something that has kept us alive and going through the generations. I want to give a shout out once again to Ms. Granitsky for putting this all together. I think this is for organizing and orchestrating a program which in my opinion has been long overdue back in Houston. And I give everyone a blessing together that we should be able to defrost the chill that we feel outside with the warmth of Torah. We should gain from one another, grow together. We should outgrow this facility, and that we should learn, hear Torah in the Torch Center with the Beit HaMikdash, with the temple built and present. May it come speedily in our days. Thank you very much for listening.